Second semester final exam review, frame 2. Frame 2 has got some absolute value on it and some review of inequalities. Reminder on absolute value. It wants the distance between the two numbers. The distance between the two numbers is 12. The distance between x and 5. We have to find those two numbers. But remember, distance could go one direction or it could go the other direction. And it's still the same distance. Doesn't matter if you go forward or backwards. So we end up solving absolute value problems twice. From x to 5 was 12 spaces, but it could have also been minus 12 spaces. But when you put the absolute value bars on it, you're talking distance, and distance can't ever be negative. But this equation could have gone to the right, it could have gone to the left. So you solve both problems using your algebra skills. Add 5 to both sides. Final answer, x equals 17. Over here, the math is the same, the process. You still add 5, but notice your final answer over here on this side is negative 7. So the distance between 17 and 5 is 12. The distance between negative 7 and 5 is also 12. You won't have to graph these, but just to get a visual of that, here's negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's the number 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's the number 17. So this distance, 12, how far away is it from 5? You could have gone 12 to the left, and the answer is negative 7. You could have gone 12 to the right, and the answer is positive 17. Either way, the distance is 12, which is why we'll have 2 answers to the absolute value problems. Over here, notice the difference. Take the time, pause it if you need to write this problem down. The difference here is you have absolute value, but you have plus 5. You need to get that out of there first. You need to isolate the absolute value so you know exactly what the distance is. Now that's your distance. Your distance is 11. And once you see that, you'll set it up as 2 different problems. X minus 3 equals 11. Or does x minus 3 equal negative 11? Solve them both. Add 3 to both sides. And I'm just going to go ahead all the way across because you do the same thing twice. And your 2 answers on this absolute value are 14 and negative 8. 14 and negative 8. If you were at the number 3 and you counted 11 spaces to the right, you would hit 14. If you went 11 spaces to the left, you would hit negative 8. Plug it back into the equation if you need to check your answer. Next one, same idea. You have to isolate the absolute value first before you know what the distance is. Go ahead and pause it. Take the time to write this problem down. But the first thing you're going to do is divide by 3 because it's 3 times the absolute value. These are jail bars. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out. Do not distribute that 3. Distributive property does not work with absolute value. Just get it out of there. Get rid of it. And now your 2 equations become 2x minus 1 equals 7, 21 minus 3. Or does 2x minus 1 equal negative 7? Solve them both. This is a 2-step equation. So we add 1 to both sides all the way across. I'm just going to go. You get 2x equals 8 and 2x equals negative 6. Divide by 2 all the way across. And you can work one problem at a time if you want. Your 2 answers, x equals 4 and x equals negative 3. Check it if you want, see if it works. 2 times 4 is 8, 8 minus 1 is 7, 3 times 7 is 21. Negative 3, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, minus 1 is negative 7, but the absolute value of negative 7 is positive 7, times 3 is 21. They both work. Frame 2 continued. These will now say solve if possible. Solve if possible. We'll review an inequality as well as an absolute value. Take the time, go ahead and write down that inequality. This time you can distribute because it's a parenthesis. You'll get 4x plus 8 is less than or equal to 4x minus 5. When you do the algebra, watch what happens. If you subtract 4x from both sides, all your variables are eliminated. You have to now ask yourself, is 8 less than or equal to negative 5? Since 8 is not less than or equal to negative 5, there is no solution. Nothing works for this problem. Now, just a reminder, we don't have this problem, but what if it said, is negative 8 less than or equal to negative 5? We'll call this the what if. What if that's the way it came out? And that is true. Negative 8 is always less than negative 5. If it's true, then you say there is an infinite solution. Every single problem that you, or answer that you want to put in there will work. Infinite solution, or shortcut, infinite solution. So know the difference as you're looking at these. If it's not true, there's no solution. If it's always true, it's an infinite solution. Comparing that over here to this absolute value, go ahead and take the absolute value. Write that problem down. First, you have to minus 8 from both sides, just like we did on the other page. You have to isolate this distance. The distance between x and 4 is 3 minus 8, which is negative 5. Absolute value is distance. How far away is it from that number? They're asking us right now, how is this distance negative 5? You can't. There is no distance at negative 5. Absolute value makes everything positive. Everything positive. Since that's not the case, then we go with there is no solution. We can't solve this because it's telling you that the distance is negative. And there is no negative distance. That's it for these flipped. Go ahead and try frame 2 in your bowling review.